The Nervous System, made by Adam Davis,
Bishr Al-Sabah,
and Laura Martinez. What is the nervous system? The nervous system is a complex structure composed of the brain, the nervous tissue, the cranium, nerves, and the spinal cord. This structure provides communication with the body and also controls it. The main function of the nervous system. The nervous system consists of the brain, spinal cord, sensory organs, and all of the nerves that connect these organs with the rest of the body. Together, these organs are responsible for the control of the body and communication among its parts. The brain and the spinal cord form to control the center known as the central nervous system, or CNS, where information is evaluated and decisions are made. The sensory nerves and sense organs of the peripheral nervous system, or PNS, monitor conditions inside and outside of the body and send this information to the CNS. Different nerves in the PNS carry signals from the control center to the muscles, glands, and organs to regulate their functions. The three functions of the nervous system include the sensory neurons. The sensory neurons are nerve cells in the nervous system whose main function is converting external stimuli from the organism's environment into internal electrical impulses. A common example of this is the five senses. Another function is integration, the process of combining information from many sources. The nervous system combines information from the different senses, and each part of the brain combines information from many other parts of the brain. Another function is the motor nerve, a nerve that carries command information out to the CNS and towards muscles or glands, otherwise known as effectors. The divisions of the nervous system. The first division of the nervous system is the central nervous system. The brain and the spinal cord together form the central nervous system. The CNS acts as the control center of the body by providing its processing, memory, and regulation systems. The CNS takes in all the conscious and subconscious sensory information from the body's sensory receptors to stay aware of the body's internal and external conditions. The CNS is also responsible for the higher functions of the nervous system, such as language, creativity, expressions, emotions, and personality. The second division is the peripheral nervous system division. The peripheral nervous system, or the PNS, includes all of the parts of the nervous system outside of the brain and spinal cord. These parts include all of the cranial and spinal nerves, ganglia, and sensory receptors. Huntington's disease. This disease is also known as HD and Huntington's chorea. Huntington's disease is an inherited disease that causes certain nerve cells in the brain to waste away. People are born with a defective gene, but symptoms usually don't appear until middle age. Early symptoms of HD may include uncontrolled movements, clumsiness, and balance problems. Later, HD can take away the ability to walk, talk, and swallow. Some people stop recognizing family members. Others are aware of their environment and are able to express emotions. If one of your parents has Huntington's disease, you have a 50% chance of getting it. There is no cure. Medicines can help manage some of the symptoms, but cannot slow down or stop the disease.
the main parts of the brain and the nervous system. Number 1. The cerebrum fills up most of your skull. It is involved in remembering, problem solving, thinking, and feeling. It also controls movement. Number 2. The cerebellum sits at the back of your head, under the cerebrum. It controls coordination and balance. Number 3. The brainstem sits beneath your cerebrum, in front of your cerebellum. It connects the brain to the spinal cord and controls automatic functions such as breathing, digestion, heart rate, and blood pressure. The main parts of the spinal cord. The spinal cord has different parts of it, or vertebrae. The first group of vertebrae is the cervical division, which connects the brain to the rest of the spinal cord. The unique part of the cervical vertebrae is it is made up of 8 different sections. These sections are the backbones of your neck, and they protect your spinal cord from the back. These different sections get bigger and stronger as they move down the spinal cord. The second group of vertebrae is the thoracic division. This division works with the muscular system. The thoracic division are the 12 small bones that make up the middle section of the trunk. This division helps support the upper body and to keep it balanced. The third group of vertebrae is the lumbar division. The lumbar vertebrae consists of 5 individual cylindrical bones that form the spine and the lower back. These vertebrae carry all of the upper body's weight while providing flexibility and movement to the trunk region. The last group of vertebrae is the sacral division. This vertebrae controls your bladder and bowel function. The main parts of the eye in the nervous system. Iris, the colored part of the eye that surrounds the pupil. Pupil, the dark center of the eye where the light rays enter. Sclera, tough fibrous tissues that serves as a protective shield. The retina is composed of nerve endings responsible for reception and transmission of light. Lens, transparent body behind the iris. Cornea, specialized portion of the sclera passing front of the lens. Conjunctiva, membrane that lines the eyelids and covers the eyeball. Optic nerve, transmits impulses to the brain. Eyelids, movable fold of skins. Lacrimal glands, produce tears. Eyelashes, protect front of the eye. The eye allows the human to see the colorful world around us. Neurotoxicity. The term neurotoxicity refers to damage of the brain or peripheral nervous system caused by exposure to natural or man-made toxic substances. These toxins can alter the activity of the nervous system in ways that can disrupt or kill nerves. Nerves are essential for transmitting and processing information in the brain as well as other areas of the nervous system.
The structure of the brain. The brain is one of the most complex and magnificent organs in the human body. Our brain gives us awareness over ourselves and of our environment, processing a constant stream of sensory data. It controls our muscle movements, the secretions of our glands, and even our breathing and internal temperature. Every creative thought, feeling, and plan is developed by our brain. The brain's neurons record the memory of every event in our lives. The cerebrum is the most superior and anterior of the brain's major regions. It is the seat of reasoning, planning, memory, and sensory integration. All conscious thought originates in the cerebrum and can influence the subconscious functions of the lower regions of the brain. The precuneus is a lobule of the parietal lobe. It is separated from the cingulate gyrus by the more variable perisplenic sulcus. It has recently been proposed that precuneus is involved in an interwoven network of the neural correlates of the self-conscious. The cerebellum is a rounded structure located behind the brainstem, to which it is linked by thick nerve tracts. It accounts for about 11% of the whole brain weight and appears similar to the cerebrum. It is concerned mainly with the maintenance of our posture and balance and the coordination of movement. The brainstem is one of the most basic regions of the human brain, yet it is one of the most vital regions for our body's survival. It forms a connection between the brain and the spinal cord, maintains vital control of the heart and lungs, and coordinates many important reflexes. The hypothalamus is the most important center for homeostasis in the human body. While it is a small region of the brain, it controls many vital bodily functions, including hunger, thirst, body temperature, and hormone secretion. The pituitary gland is a pea-sized gland located in the center of the skull, inferior to the hypothalamus of the brain and posterior to the bridge of the nose. It is an important link between the nervous and endocrine systems, and releases many hormones which affect growth, sexual development, metabolism, and human reproduction. The paracentral lobule is a medical subdivision of the superior frontal gyrus of the cerebrum. The frontal half of the paracentral lobule is separated from the medial frontal gyrus by a rising branch of the cingulate sulcus that is caused by paracentral sulcus. The cuneus is a wedge-shaped lobule within the middle of the surface of the optical lobe, formed between the boundaries provided by the sulcurine and the parietal optical sulci. Brain parts locations: the brain, the cerebrum, the precuneus, the cerebellum, the brainstem, the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, the paracentral lobule, and the cuneus. Autism. Autism spectrum disorder (ASD) is a complex developmental disability. Signs typically appear during early childhood and affect a person's ability to communicate and interact with others. ASD is defined by a certain set of behaviors and is a spectrum condition that affects individuals differently and to varying degrees. There is no known single cause of autism, but increased awareness and early diagnosis, thus intervention, and access to appropriate services supports lead to significantly improved outcomes. Some of the behaviors associated with autism include delayed learning of language, difficulty making eye contact or holding a conversation, difficulty with executive functioning, which relates to reasoning and planning, narrow intense interests, poor motor skills, and sensory sensitivities. Again, a person on the spectrum might follow many of these behaviors or just a few, or many other besides. The diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder is applied based on analysis of all behaviors and their severity. In 2016, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued their ADDM Autism Prevalence Report. The report concluded that the prevalence of autism had risen to 1 in every 68 births in the United States, nearly twice as great as the 2004 rate of 1 in 125, and almost 1 in 54 boys. The spotlight shining on autism as a result has opened opportunities for the nation to consider how to serve families facing a lifetime of supports for their children. In June 2014, research estimated the lifetime cost of caring for a child with autism is as great as $2.4 million. The Autism Society estimates that the United States is facing almost $90 billion annually in costs for autism. This figure includes research, insurance costs, and non-covered expenses, Medicaid, waivers for autism, educational spending, housing, transportation, employment, related therapeutic services, and caregiver costs. Autism can be prevented if we act early and treat it.
ALC question number 2. How many different vertebrae is in the spinal cord? A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, 4? The correct answer is D, 4 vertebrae.
UOC question 3. Which of these parts of the brain are the seat of reason, planning, memory, and sensory integration? Correct answer B, cerebrum. UC question 4. Which of following is not true about the brain? Answer A. The hypothalamus is the most important center for homeostasis in the human body. While it is a small region of the brain, it controls many vital bodily functions, including hunger, thirst, body temperature, and hormone secretion. Answer B. The brain is one of the most complex and magnificent organs in the human body. Answer C. The cuneus is one of the most basic regions of the human brain, yet it is one of the most vital regions for body survival. It forms connection between the brain and the spinal cord. It maintains vital control of the heart and lungs, and coordinates many important reflexes. Answer D. The vicunus is involved in the interwoven network of neural correlates of self-conscious. The answer is C.